Wayfinder is a new open world free-to-play MMORPG that will be coming out very soon. Now, this game was supposed to be launching in June 16, but got delays. Yes, we don't like delays, but they keep happening. So the next beta is going to be coming out 24th of May, and then hopefully the launch will be sometimes at the end of the summer. Now, I'll be letting you guys know everything you need to know about Wayfinder if you guys should check out this game and if it's worth playing or not. So let's jump right into it. Now, Wayfinder is an MMORPG, and this game will be coming out for PC and console. There is no mobile release announced yet. Now, this game, it is called MMORPG, and it is called an open world MMORPG, but it is not completely an open world MMORPG. In this game, how it works is it's like an instance world where you enter different instances, where you're doing quests or you're doing dungeons, or you're going to main cities. You will enter these instances, and in these instances there might be other players there doing world bosses and such, but it's not like World of Warcraft or a proper big MMORPG that you will see hundreds of players roaming around. It will be like smaller instances that where you can meet players and fight with them. So it's still an MMORPG, but kind of different. Now, in this game, you will be able to pick a character, aka a Wayfinder, and these characters will have unique traits and skills. So your main skills, your main combat skills will get through the characters, and you will have the ability to customize these characters just like you want. And if you want to play other characters, you can craft them and use them whenever you guys want. So you can switch between Wayfinders later on once you have crafted more Wayfinders. Now, when it comes to the classes, you can call it weapons. They have announced a lot of different weapons, but I think the ones that are confirmed are two-hander sword, and shield, dual daggers, and a ranged weapon. I think there's way more weapons coming out later. Now, the nice thing about this is you guys can switch and choose between these weapons, and the light and heavy attacks will have different combinations depending on your weapon. So let's say I'm using a sword and shield, right? And my Wayfinder will still have the same skills, the 4 skills, but since I'm using a sword and shield, I'll get different light and heavy attacks, and I'll get a different 5th skill depending on my weapon. So the combat, it will be an action combat, fun, light, and heavy attacks. You can chain them and you can use jump, block, and dodge. So you'll have a very good combat. Everybody that has played it has said that the combat feels very polished, feels very fun, and feels very engaging. So having this ability, again, it is 2023. You should be able to choose between classes and weapons like you want, and I'm glad that they're doing so in this game. Now, the graphics itself, they look amazing and well polished. I am a big fan of these type of graphics. Some people are not. Some people think this is kind of cartoonish, but I really like this type of graphics. And the really nice thing about this game is they have so many different looking areas and zones. You know, you feel like you're different areas. Where you're walking, you feel like the graphics and the art style changes depending on where you are. So I really like that, and they've done a good job itself on the graphics and how the world looks. Now, I was talking a little bit about the open world, so let's talk about this. Now, there's a own thing in the game called open world, which means something else, but I want to talk about like the open world MMORPG aspect, right? Because in this game, mostly you won't be able to see a lot of players. You might be able to see 20 players when you're like in the main cities, but when you're in instances or doing your quests or doing your side missions and main missions, you might see some people roaming around here and there, but it's not going to be like a complete open world because you're running. There's so many different instances that you can enter, and lost zones, open zones, dungeon zones. So the main stuff that you will be doing in this game is doing side missions inside instances, doing main missions, doing dungeon grinds. Usually you won't be seeing too many players, and when you're roaming the world, which I really like, is there's no scaling of enemies, so you actually have to grind and level up. So you might enter areas where there are monsters that are stronger than you. You have to level up to be able to defeat them. In some games, like monsters and stuff scale inside instances. In this game, it does not. Now, the main thing that you will be doing in this game is leveling your character, or your Wayfinder. You can customize your Wayfinder, but at the same time, you want to grind, right? You want to level up and get better weapons, to get better skills, to get better traits. You will have to do a lot of grinding. So it's like the classical hardcore grind. So you'll be roaming around, you'll be fighting monsters and enemies, you'll be doing mobs, doing missions, There will be world bosses that you have to defeat with friends or other players. There'll be dungeons in this game. The main grind will be throughout this dungeon. Okay, you will have to do dungeons. You can do them solo, but some you will require a team. There's teams of 3 players in this game, so you can team up with your friends and do different dungeons and grind. There are chests, of course. There's hidden chests. There's a lot of exploration in there. There's a lot of like jumping puzzles. You have to jump and you have to find different items to get to different items inside dungeons. There's going to be puzzles that you have to explore and understand to unlock a chest or unlock the next boss fight. So they have like the whole MMORPG aspect, right? They have the whole exploration, they have the massive world, they have the grinding, they have the dungeons. That's like the core thing of an MMORPG. But playing with others is rewarded in this game. Like if you're doing dungeons with your friends, if you have like a couple of friends and you want to play with them, or you want to grind with them, or you want to quest with them, you have the ability to do so. You guys can make a 3-player team and roam around. And the nice thing in this game is playing with others is rewarded. You get XP, you get loot. If they kill a monster, you get loot, you get XP from that, so you can power level or grind faster while playing with friends. Now, progressing your weapons, gear, character is gonna happen mainly through dungeon grind. You'll be able to do it through main quest and side quest, but dungeons are basically the main thing. The dungeons aren't that long. They last from 5 to 15 to 20 minutes, depending on the dungeon, of course. You have to run through them. You have to, like a normal dungeon, enter, you find where the monsters are, you loot the chests, you grind, you fight the bosses. That's basically how you're gonna progress in this game. Now, this game will also have player housing. There'll be like apartments. It's kind of like a social place, what they have said, but you also have to enter these houses to do like upgrades and power upgrades. Right now, there is no PvP announced. I know that's bad news for a lot of players, but they haven't, like, the devs haven't said that it's going to be a completely PvE game, so they might add some PvP later on. But from launch and the early updates, we will not be seeing any PvP, but they are open for PvP. So if the game, I really hope there is PvP, because this game, the mechanics, they feel so good, like the skills, they feel so good, like the unique traits and skills, the blocking, the dodging. I feel like PvP would be very good and for this game overall. Now, this game is free to play, and you guys know what that means. It means monetization. How are they going to do that? Microtransactions are going to be gacha. Now they are saying they will do kind of the same kind of monetization at Warframe. So I'm guessing that you will be able to, because like I said before, you want to unlock more Wayfinders, right? Which will be characters with these traits. Now I'm most likely guessing there'll be also a way to get them through purchasing. So you probably can purchase Wayfinders instead of crafting them. So it's like pay to progress kind of monetization. And there's going to be battle passes. Now I don't know what the battle passes will include. If it will include only cosmetics, or if it's actually going to include actual pay to win or stuff that can make your progress faster. Because I don't know how it's going to do with the dungeons and raids, because when it globally launches, will it be like an exhaustion system where you have to purchase, do more dungeons, do more raids? But so far I think it's not going to be like, they're not going to focus on a very pay to win type of game. It's going to be more like pay to convenience with, for example, purchasing Wayfinders instead of crafting them. But that is what we know about Wayfinder so far. It's an exciting game. Definitely want to check it out. I feel like this is a game that I can play, probably not play like get addicted to, but like play for fun and have a good time with, because it has everything like an MMO needs, and the combat is definitely something I'm going to try out and have some fun with. But that is it. That's all you need to know. You guys can probably sign up for the beta and then the global launch, when it most likely will be at the end of summer. It was supposed to be June 16th, but you guys know delays. I hate delays because it kind of kills the hype of the game when they keep launching, when they keep having delays. But most of these MMOs, I think every single MMO that I've been excited for this year has had delays. So we'll see when they announce some more information. Thank you guys so much for watching. Give me a thumbs up. Make sure you guys check out this video right here. I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye.